What's up, gamers? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Just full of positivity and happiness, dude. Because today, we are going to be taking a look at a video by what I can only describe as a boomer who is comparing Goldeneye to Halo Infinite. The title of the video we are going to be looking at is Goldeneye is better than Halo Infinite. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with the take. If you prefer Goldeneye over Halo Infinite, that's perfectly fine. Not a take I personally agree with, but we all have our own subjective opinions. But the logic and reasoning that this person tries to use is very questionable in the first half of the video, but then in the second half of the video, he just starts getting a bunch of shit wrong. So anyways, let's get right into this shit.
When I first heard that GoldenEye came out for the Switch and the Xbox Game Pass for free, I immediately said, what face? I gotta play this game again. I remember playing this game as a kid. I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember some of it. Hey, and plus it was free, so I mean, why wouldn't you want to play it, you know?
Tell that to everybody who bought a physical copy of Rare Replay.
Especially for nostalgia reasons. And I was thinking of playing this game when the remake was supposed to come out, but I think that got cancelled and everyone got angry at that. Which sucks, because it would have been cool to play a remake of this game.
Yeah, it is kind of a shame that the XBLA remaster of this game ultimately got canned because of licensing issues, and Nintendo pretty much just blocked it. Especially considering that XBLA remaster is straight up better than the one that we actually got this time.
This was literally one of the first games ever made that was like a shooter, you know, like Halo 1, yeah, was a thing, and Doom, but this game also, like, I would say it was one of the founding fathers of first-person shooters. But this short video isn't about a GoldenEye 007 review. I think you guys had a good amount of years to play the game and review it for yourselves, and I'm pretty sure there's other reviews out there in the internet, I hope. It's more about how in the world is this game better than Halo Infinite. Remember, Halo Infinite is by Microsoft, one of the biggest companies in the world. So pretty much I'm just gonna, be talking about how sad and pathetic it is that this game, which was made in 1997, is better than this game, which was made in 2021. For starters, GoldenEye has, I think, 11 multiplayer maps, and Halo Infinite launched, not, how many multiplayer maps are there now in Halo Infinite, but launched with 10 multiplayer maps. Yeah, it's only one multiplayer map, so I guess that's a small example.
I mean, if we're talking about the launch of this game, then yeah, Halo Infinite definitely launched with a lack of content. Quite frankly, it still kind of does lack content to this day. But we've gotten 4 new multiplayer maps since then, which, again, I think is kind of pathetic for a live service game, but if we're comparing it to GoldenEye, it's more than what it has.
But GoldenEye has 29 guns, with cheats included, and Halo Infinite has less than that. I think it has like 22, if I'm not mistaken, and they still haven't added more guns in Halo Infinite.
That's actually not true, by the way. Halo Infinite has 22 base weapons. However, you're forgetting that every weapon also has a variant that you can unlock in the campaign by completing the assassination mission or getting enough valor. Now, you could argue that those shouldn't count because they're just variants. However, I feel the need to point out that he's also counting shit like the PP7 versus the silenced PP7 in GoldenEye as 2 different weapons. As I pulled up the entire list of weapons in the game from the GoldenEye wiki, which when I counted them all up ended up being 29 weapons, so I'm assuming this list of weapons is where he got that number from. But of those 29 weapons, 6 of them are only available through cheats. This also includes things like Unarmed, aka Slapper, which isn't a weapon in Halo Infinite since melee is just an ability you can execute at any point by default. It also includes the grenades and the 3 different types of mines. Meanwhile, Halo Infinite also has 4 types of grenades, but they just aren't counted as regular weapons. And then, of course, you also need to consider just how different the weapons are in Halo Infinite compared to GoldenEye. Like, every weapon, or almost every weapon in Halo Infinite, serves a different purpose and functions completely differently. Whereas in GoldenEye, that line is kinda blurred. To this day, I still can't tell you what the functional difference is between the PP7 and the DD44 Dostave, besides the fact that one of them has 8 rounds per magazine and the other only has 7. And then there's also shit like the AR-33 is basically just the KF-7 Soviet, except it's just better. Then you have things like the D5K Deutsch, the Phantom, and the ZMG, which function so similar to each other. Like, there's a little bit of difference with, like, the fire rate and accuracy. but ultimately, how different are they really? Oh, and the fucking tank is included on this list. My point is, it's not quite as simple as saying that one game has more guns than the other, as it's a bit more nuanced than that. But hell, even if we were just talking about the sheer number of weapons, then yeah, Halo Infinite actually does have more. Again, because of the weapon variants that you can unlock.
You know what's something that Goldeneye does better than some games? I was gonna call out Modern Warfare 2 for this, but I guess Modern Warfare 2 does have dual wield guns. They got lucky on that. But most games don't even do this no more. And dual wield. Goldeneye has dual wield. I haven't dual wielded in a while. And Halo Infinite doesn't even have that anymore. I don't know, for some reason, when they asked 343, hey, is there gonna be dual wield guns? They're like, no, we're not doing that. It's like against their religion or something. Like, why are companies so scared of adding dual wield guns?
Main reason is balancing. In Halo 2 and 3, when there was dual wielding, there was a pitfall where often a lot of the guns that were dual wieldable were pretty much useless unless you were dual wielding them. The only real exception to this was the plasma pistol because of the overcharged shot being able to drop shields instantly, and I suppose the pistol's ability to one-shot unshielded targets. But like, try using like a single SMG or single plasma rifle in those games, it's just not going to go over well, and it just makes balancing these weapons a lot harder. Now, I guess ultimately it is a personal preference if you prefer more chaotic fun versus something more balanced, so I'm not going to go too harsh on him here.
I don't understand. You know what's another thing that Goldeneye does better than Halo Infinite? It actually has a better, I would say, easier story to follow.
Yeah, as somebody who has played all the Halo games, I can wholeheartedly agree with him on this. The story in Halo Infinite is just eh. So yeah, I'm just gonna speed past this because I really can't add anything other than I agree.
And you know what this game has that Halo Infinite doesn't have? Split screen.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Alright, that is a straight up lie, by the way, and this is the part where I first watched this video where I decided that I was gonna make a response to this, because this dude is just being disingenuous as hell. GoldenEye supports 4-player split screen in its multiplayer. Meanwhile, Halo Infinite also supports 4-player split screen in its multiplayer, so I really am not sure what he's getting at. Now, you might say, oh, but Thunderstruck, he's talking about campaign split screen. Halo Infinite doesn't let you play split screen in the campaign, and to that I say, neither does GoldenEye. But what can you do about that one, man? Selective outrage at its finest.
Oh yeah. You know, those guys at Halo Infinite, they just couldn't crack the code. Like, how do these games divide the screen and the TV? How are they doing that? How is that possible? How are they doing that? You know what was the most embarrassing thing about Halo Infinite also? The fact that some random dude just found a way how to make split screen in the game. That's like so embarrassing. Some random dude just like, oh, I did it. That was easy. And it's actually in the game files. They just don't want to release it for some reason. I don't know why. That's like the equivalent of like scientists and doctors, you know, like, what's the cure for this disease? What's the cure? And then some random dude just goes, hey, isn't this the cure for the disease? And then the doctors and scientists just go like, oh, yeah, it is actually.
This actually brings up an interesting point, but you actually can get into Halo Infinite's campaign and split screen via a glitch. I only mentioned that it didn't have it earlier because it's not an official feature and it's a glitch. But you know what, since he brought it up, in Halo Infinite, at the very least, you can do a glitch to do 4-player split screen in the campaign. As far as I know, no such glitch exists in GoldenEye, so if anything, Halo Infinite does split screen better than GoldenEye does. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think it's bullshit that 343 canceled campaign split screen when the glitch shows that it's like 85% there, and what's there is just a few bugs that need to be ironed out that is well within their capabilities. But again, if we're just ignoring all that and just straight up comparing this game to GoldenEye, then you could actually make the argument that Halo Infinite does split screen better than GoldenEye.
The only thing that Halo Infinite does better than GoldenEye is like, okay, it has online voice acting, and I think that's about it. Oh, and better graphics.
Yeah, definitely not gonna agree with you on that one, Chief, because Halo Infinite has better enemy AI, better enemy variety, better vehicles, better weapon variety, better controls, better boss fights, better gadgets, better level design, more campaign missions, assuming of course we're counting both the main levels as well as the optional Banished Stronghold levels, better difficulty balancing, better hit detection, better multiplayer maps, and hell, you can even create your own multiplayer maps with Forge.
I just find it so funny and crazy to believe that a game that was made in 1997 still beats a game that was made in 2021 in some aspects of like a first-person shooter. It's just crazy. I'm not saying GoldenEye is just completely better than Halo Infinite, but I think some people would actually agree with that. But it's just funny how like this game still beats this game here in some aspects of it. Hey, and the game is free. Legendary Moon here from the future. Correction, that is false, present Legendary Moon. The game is not free. It's only free if you have the Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass. Alright, back to the video.
I can literally apply that same logic to Halo Infinite's campaign, because it is also included in Xbox Game Pass. Meanwhile, the multiplayer is just straight up free, no Game Pass required. Hell, I could be wrong on this, but I don't even think you even need an Xbox Live Gold subscription, since I think they removed the requirement for free-to-play games. And also, again, Microsoft and Rare gave a big fuck you to everybody who had Rare Replay physically, because for some inconceivable reason, they only decided to patch GoldenEye into digital copies of Rare Replay. I remember they tried giving some excuse like, oh, we can't do it with physical copies, which I call bullshit on. Like, if 343 Industries can add Halo Reach's multiplayer for free to both physical and digital copies of the Master Chief Collection 5 years after it initially released on Xbox One, then there is absolutely no reason why Rare couldn't add GoldenEye to physical copies of Rare Replay after the fact. But wow, we got way off topic.
You can actually just go and play this dumb kookily game for free. And Halo Infinite, you have to pay $60 for the campaign.
Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
What the hell are you talking about with that second correction, dude? As early as the fucking initial campaign showcase in July of 2020, we knew that the campaign was going to be coming to Game Pass day one. And hell, even if you missed that showcase, Microsoft has already made their stance clear when it comes to first-party titles on Game Pass. That being, they come to Game Pass day fucking one. So that is entirely on you for not paying attention.
Pay for little customizations on multiplayer if you want that, and then GoldenEye you can just play for free. Okay, you know what? There is one thing that Halo Infinite does better than GoldenEye. Halo Infinite has a battle pass. Am I right, folks? Everyone loves battle passes. All the games are doing it, so it's gotta be cool, you know? That's a dub right there for Halo Infinite. You know, we get to spend $10. It's almost like a bill. If you like Halo Infinite and you want to get a lot of customization items, you have to pay this bill every few months called the Battle Pass for Halo Infinite, so you can get stuff for the game. Because
sorry for cutting him off, but it kind of goes on for a while. But no, you do not have to spend $10 on the Battle Pass if you do not want it. The Battle Pass doesn't have an expiration date, unlike the ones found in, say, Call of Duty. So you could just buy one Battle Pass if you like the shit that's in there, and then you have as much time as you need to complete it. Now, don't get me wrong, I think what's in the game by default in terms of customization is pretty bare bones. And I do think a lot of the shit in the store is overpriced. But number one, it's cosmetic-only items in a free-to-play multiplayer game, so I'm really not going to be losing sleep over that. And number two, what sort of customization does GoldenEye have? I mean, outside of different character selections in multiplayer, and of course you have cheats like DK mode and paintball mode, but like besides that, what is there?
the things you earn in the events and, you know, giveaways are okay, but they're not that great. Most of the stuff is in the battle pass, or you have to pay money on top of the battle pass in the store. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to do a very short video of like the fact that this game just came out, well, re-released, whatever, and Halo Infinite was starting kind of to get its shit together, and then that whole stuff happened. I don't know, I just thought of a video, you know, like maybe I can make a video of how GoldenEye is better than Halo Infinite. And I kind of realized that even more during the time I was playing GoldenEye.
Alright, at this point the video is pretty much over. He keeps rambling on for about another minute about videos he's going to do in the future, which is ultimately irrelevant to the topic of this response, so I'm just going to end it off here. So I guess the moral of the story here is that GoldenEye is better than Halo Infinite because of double standards and bullshit reasons. Now, if you prefer GoldenEye over Halo Infinite, there is nothing wrong with that. We all have different tastes. I mean, personally, I just have more fun playing Halo Infinite than I do GoldenEye. Even though I don't think Halo Infinite's current state is stellar, like, at all, The actual core gameplay is a lot of fun, whereas with Goldeneye, I mean, I could definitely see why people liked it, but I always have to look at it as a product of its time because I just don't think it's held up pretty well. If you ask me, Doom 64 is a better first-person shooter on the N64, but anyways, yeah, I'm rambling again. So I'm going to end the video here. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more, and tell me what you think of this person simping for Goldeneye. Anyways, that's it. Peace!